morning, everyone. Abraham Carranza coming to you from My Mastermind.
And Emily Carranza.
Wanted to give you guys a little bit of value, and also wanted to discuss. Earlier, I put up, we loaded a video on the stick person, and I wanted to kind of break that down for you guys. You guys are new to this information. You're trying to understand it. Relatively, we think in images, and because we think in images, we really don't have an image on the mind and how it works. And if we really want to understand ourselves, each other, and everyone else around us, our body, our imagination, our creative faculties, our abilities to create, to attract, to do everything that a man is, and man is mind, we need to understand what it is and how it works and the way it works, right? So when you go back to the video, it's a little brief summary, and we're touching lightly on quite a bit of information. There's a lot more to be understood about the mind, and that's what we do here. We name the company I Am Mastermind because each and every one of us is the mastermind. Each and every one of us is bringing life force, life form into form as we think. We came into an existence, we came into a body, we came into a family. Mm-hmm. And because we came into this life existence, we came into a family. I believe that I have a spirit, I have an essence about me, I have a purpose, I have a why. And that led me into this big journey we call life. It led me into the direction. I own different companies. We've done many things through the years, and we've built different MSIs, multiple sources of income. And through the years, I started to see that there was an inclination of more than a physical state of being of an individual. There was also a spiritual sense of that individual that was kind of dictating. It was really dictating the direction of how they live, how they experience life, the things that they do. And it was also really determining how they experience life and how well they did in the companies, or how they did in everything that we do. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of value, and I want to give you guys a little bit of foundation on this information because it's really everything that we are.
Yes. One of the things that, if you guys have seen that video that Abraham did post earlier today, or earlier this morning actually, sorry, my day kind of starts pretty early, but so what he does is he kind of goes into The Stick Person, that's by Dr. Thurman Fleet, and one of the main topics that we kind of wanted just to go into, and he kind of touched lightly on it, was the paradigm and the programming and how that really does affect us, and it really does affect where you are right now. It really affects your perceptions and your outlook as to your current situation, as far as whether your job, or even to like how much money you're making as well. So we really want to get you guys to understand, and we kind of just want to break down what is a paradigm and how does that affect you, especially throughout your day. Now, if you guys don't know what a paradigm is going to be a multitude of habits that have almost exclusive control over your behaviors, and almost all behaviors are habitual.
Right. And so that really stems where the determining factor of what's causing the behavior, what's causing our habits, and why do we keep doing the same thing over and over again, even though we know it's not working, mm-hmm. right? So as we start understanding the paradigms, it's habitual behaviors, where do they stem from, Em?
Well, those are going to stem from ultimately our parents, whoever it is that raised us. So from the age 0 to 7, we were given a list of operating instructions.
Coding.
Yes.
You can call this coding, just like a computer.
And what that is going to be your whatever you saw as a kid, whether that's your environment, religion, race, time. So there's a lot of different factors that really go into it that gives you your outlook as to who you think you are, and most importantly, who you think you're not. This gave you your identity. So now you go into life, and you go and you react and you observe through that identity.
Through the senses from the identity, from mm-hmm. the perspective of the identity. So I want to break that down just a little bit. When we start to think of what is this coding, what is this massive information, what is it? Well, it's a nucleus of you. But I'm going to take you back at the very beginning. I gave you guys a little hint. I believe I'm spirit, and I believe I have an essence, and I believe I have a purpose. Now, if that is true, in which I know it is, then I believe I am a spiritual essence experiencing a physical reality. So my spirit came into a body. When the spirit comes out, the body falls, the body goes back into energy. It changes form, but it goes back to energy. But as long as spirit or soul is in the body, it's activated, it's charged, it's moving, it's in motion, it's thought in motion. But here's the governing factor. So this essence of life, this spirit, came into a body, and according to the environment, according to the geographical settings, according to through the time. So we have different parts of coding here. We have genetic coding. We're not going to go into that right now. It's quite a bit to go into. But we have environmental coding. This environmental coding that we received, we came into a body. So that means we came into a family. From 0 to 7, we're getting programmed. We're receiving a mental list of programming that we are going to, objectively, we're going to think it's ours. Mm-hmm. And it's our starting point. It's where we start the day. It's where we started our birth, our first month, our first light year in life. So we're giving a list of operating instructions here, list of coding, that we take it as our starting point. And if we do this, if we take that as our starting point and we don't change it, then we will experience the world through those eyes. And if we really understand that, that means we've received the information from a mom and dad, or an aunt and our uncle, or someone who was around us, and we're receiving information. So they're telling us dog, cat, house, home. They're also giving us how we eat, how we think, the behaviors, the way we eat, how much we consume, the way we consume food.
And it's really important, kind of, I'm going to touch a little bit lightly on what he said. So it's the images that we're given, whether it's like the dog, the cat, or even and the emotion that we attach with that, now that's creating a feeling, and now that's part of the program, that's part of the feeling that we get. Because now what if we had a bad experience with like fruit or whatever, and now we don't like that and we don't even want to try it because that was given to us, and that was a programming with an image attached with an emotion. Now that we have, anytime we see that, it kind of just pops back up.
And it brings you back to the emotional state of feeling with mm-hmm. that image. Because we think in images, we're always going back to an image, again, from our previous recognition, right? So as we're going through this environment, they're teaching us, what are they teaching us? They're giving us what race we are. They're giving us our religion. They're giving us our culture. Depending on the timeline when you came into this body, again, if you were born in the 1600s and you were born in Africa, who would you think you are? If you were born in Germany, who would you think you are? What religion would you be? What would you call yourself? What race would you call yourself? But if we're spirit, then we're perfect and have none of those identities. But we're not really observant of that. We're really not aware of that. So then the normal race, normal humanity, we take on an identity, and we take on a perspective, and we take on all these ideas, and that becomes our starting point. And this is what's governing your life. This is what we really need to understand, because really, we're always wanting to expand. We always want to grow. We want to evolve. We want to get better. We want to do better. And we always want to go forth somewhere we've never been. But here's the factor. If this is the massive information and coding that we first originally received, and we stay on that level of awareness, we can only keep producing the same results. And this is this feedback loop system that you keep seeing. I know each and every one of you have felt it. I've met people that make $30,000 a year. I've met people that make 50, 60, 100, millions, billions, all different levels of awareness. That's all it is. But they can only produce what they're in harmony with, what they're in alignment with, what they've learned. You see, if we're wanting to go somewhere different, we've got to be able to unlearn and relearn. And until we do that, we keep exhibiting the same thoughts. Here we go again, the same behaviors, and the same what? Results. Mm-hmm. This is the way life is. We need to understand it if we want to change it. We need to understand that we have a massive information. Didn't belong to us, but it came from whoever taught us. Now, we cannot change what's happened in the past, but we can change what we do in the future. We can change what we do right now, because in the present time is the future in movement. It's the now.
Yes, and that's why this information is very important, because it really gets you to understand. It's kind of like that saying, how can you break out of a prison you don't even know you're in? And that really kind of goes
That's a big statement.
Yeah, it really explains the paradigm and the programming, because it has such a control over us and we don't even realize it. And we're not really aware of it until we start breaking it, and until we start getting outside of our comfort zone and we start taking the steps and setting those goals and really just moving and doing the things that we fear and that we don't really want to do. And now, whenever you do that, you're creating new program. You're creating a new hard drive for you to go out and do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. And that's what success really is. It's doing the thing that you fear the most.
Yeah, success is it is the movement beyond where you've gone before. Success is, it's always in the far side. It's always in the future. But you've got to be able to move into it now. And if it's success that you're searching for, it's success that you're wanting to experience, that's just it is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. How many of you guys, how many of you individuals are really saying, I want to go somewhere different? I am going to actually take the actions and moving in that new direction. How many of you are having troubles? How many of you are staying stuck? How many of you haven't even given yourself the ability or saying, you know what, I am worthy, right? If you're looking for this information, you want to go somewhere you've never been. Money is a result. That's all it is. Money is energy. Think of money as just energy, but it's a result to a level of awareness. You can only keep producing your level of awareness. If you want to have more, you want to experience more, you want to alter the pattern plan. Understand this. The code is a pattern plan. It's predestiny. Majority of our lives have been predestined to a code, been predestined to a blueprint. If you want to alter the blueprint, if you want to alter the code, you have to alter the mind. You have to alter the way you think, and you have to be ready and willing to reprogram the subconscious mind. This is what we do.
Yes. And also another reason why this information is really, really, really important, because if you guys have children, if you have little kids, or even thinking about having children, this is very important for you to understand, because whatever you have right now, whatever your programming is, you're going to be giving that to your child. They're gonna see, they're gonna observe whatever environment that they are around. So this is so important, because ultimately we are programming the children to perceive and go through life almost the same way that we did. And if you want to help them, to be able to set those goals, to be able to do the things that you want them to do, this information is very important for that.
This information is our whole life. Majority of people really don't know what we have, and if they knew, they would be doing everything they can to get in front of it. This is our whole life. You're trading your life for a previous code, or you're going to decide what you're going to become and how you're going to experience it. We're going to either teach our children to do the same thing and be a part of the status quo, to be locked into a system, or we're going to teach them to be free. And we're going to teach them not to be limited to our own level of awareness. Mm-hmm. Everything is just a level of awareness. And we need to understand that we are and we should be responsible for progressing our children, our families, and we need to understand what we're doing. And if we're going to understand what we're doing, we need to learn this information, because it's our whole life and it's our future, our children's lives. Mm-hmm. It's very important that if you don't know what that is, you need to get in front of it. You need to start to understand it, comprehend it. We are giving our children a mental coding, and they're going to more or less follow our footsteps. Evolutionary, we always are growing and we always are expanding and raising consciousness. But on an average, it's very slow. It's a slow progressive movement. And if we really want to help our future and help our society, we need to know what this is. We need to understand it. And we need to learn what the subconscious mind and how it works. So yes. It's very important. If you want to alter the pattern plan, if you want to rewrite your history, you need to get in front of this. You need to find a group. You need to find people that are growing, expanding their awareness. Personal development is it. It's the only it. Because if we're not personally developing ourselves, we're going to stay subject to ourselves, which is our preconditioned mentality, our preconditioned behaviors. So I hope this serves you. And take a look at the stick person. It brings you back to heaven's first law, and that's order. We need to understand how order and consciousness and how the brain works. So hope you guys have a great day, a great Friday. Here at 10:30 for any of you guys, we're fixing to launch one of our webinars, and we're going to be doing that in Spanish as well. And we'll be having English webinars as well, giving you guys this information, helping you guys advance, helping you guys achieve worthy goals, set goals, and ultimately accomplish and achieve the life that you really truly desire. So 10:30, we're having the Spanish webinar. Hope you guys jump on, and look forward to seeing you guys. And you guys want to look at this information, give us a call, shoot us a message. We'll be happy to help you guys out.
All right. I hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend.
Yes. See you guys.